The Marino Show. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Marino Show. I'm your host, David Marino. And my guest today can't be put into a box. He's a rapper, an actor, a magician. His day job is an attorney. There's a lot to unpack there, but I'm so excited to have him with me today. Lavender Jones, thank you so much for being on The Marino Show.
Such an honor to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. Anxious to meet everybody in the Austin area. I know you've got a growing audience, and it's going to be fun today.
Yes. So first of all, we need to talk about Lavender Jones, how you created this character, and really how you got into music, because I know that you're building your musical repertoire right now.
Lavender Jones was born in Atlanta, Georgia, probably a little bit over a year ago. I was in that particular town handling some legal matters. And once that was over with, I was fortunate to attend and visit some of the really cool hip hop R&B clubs in Atlanta. And I was introduced to the rap and hip hop world, and I realized that if you listened carefully to a rap song, it tells a story. The lyrics will tell a story. And that's similar with wrestling. Wrestling will tell a story. Pro wrestling, there's a good guy, there's a bad guy. There's good versus evil. The good guy triumphs. It's a morality play in a lot of ways. Wrestling tells a story. So shortly after I returned from Atlanta to Texas, I started writing these rap rhymes as poetry, and put them to beat, and recorded my first song, which was called You Don't Like Me, and I recorded, went into the studio, Creative Cave Studios with Adrian Loetta here in Brownsville, Texas, went into the studio, recorded my first song, and then put it to a music video.
First of all, let's take a look at your music video, You Don't Like Me. Here's a Lavender Jones, You Don't Like Me.
Man, always throwing fire from my hand. I come here from a mystical land. My name's Lavender Jones. Wherever I go, I'm never alone. Always surrounded by my hoes, and wherever I go, I make it my home. My rhymes are always so fresh. I just ignore all the rest. And yes, I know that I'm blessed, because I'm next, and I'm the best. Care. Get some lavender in your hair. Come for the wrestling, stay for the show. Jump on that train, Lavender Jones. I am a magical man. You need to study my jam. All my moves are truly grand. Always throwing fire from my hand. You don't need no damn Tyrone. Come to Lavender Jones. You don't need to borrow no phone. Jump on that train, Lavender Jones. Only with the best hoes. Come for the wrestling, stay for the show. Spitting bricks, taking licks, doing fat chicks, magic tricks, throwing rhymes, making lines, looking fine, living causing confusion, never abusing. Don't know the meaning of losing. You don't like me, I know why, cause I'm always high. I was dressing so fly, they're licking chocolate pie. No, it's because you love this guy. Come for the wrestling, stay for the show. Jump on that train, white Lavender Jones.
Tell me what the song means. What was the inspiration behind You Don't Like Me? Which, by the way, I love that title. I think a lot of people can relate to someone not liking them in their lives.
You know, it's kind of interesting. I guess initially the inspiration was from an ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? We always have these experiences. And so I started thinking about that and I started writing, you know, you don't like me, you know, too bad. I am a magical man. You know, always sewing, far from my hand. I come here from a mystical land. My name's White Lavender Jones. Wherever I go, I'm never alone. So the song was kind of an introduction, you know, to my character, you know, you don't like me, too bad, you know, and this is who I became and who White Lavender Jones is now and what I'm all about. And if you go all the way to the end of the song, you know, it tells you why you don't like me. You know, it's because you love me. You know, you really don't, you know, you don't like me. The reason you don't like me is because you really love me, you know. And so it's kind of an interesting finish to the song.
So the video You Don't Like Me actually caught the attention of August Aguilar, film producer based out of Knoxville. And that's how you landed in the horror movie He Comes to Kill, which, by the way, people need to see it. It's awesome. I'll put a link to it. How did you end up sort of getting that role? I mean, how did it all come together?
Somehow August came across my video, you know, and I think that he recognized the uniqueness of the character, you know, and how it might make his film a little bit different. So he and I came together, you know, we started talking about it. I was very impressed with him. You know, I know you were as well. I mean, what an awesome young, you know, up and coming film producer, director he is. Reminds me a lot of a young Steven Spielberg, you know. So we came together. He invited me to Knoxville, Tennessee, where they were shooting the film. And I came, we shot it all in a day, actually.
Up on the Lavender Jones train, baby! Mom said, no, big daddy, we're gonna ride that wave! Let's party, brother!
You know, Strange Films production was very professional, treated me, you know, like a celebrity. And, you know, we did the shoot. I think it turned out well. So I do invite everybody in Austin, you know, if you like horror films, this is an independent film. It's a 50-minute film, so it's not real long. And of course, the virtue of independent films is they're not constrained by the big studios, by big corporations, you know.
Now that you've done that, what are you looking at in the future? Are you hoping to do more film work, or would you like to concentrate more on the music, or both?
No, I'm concentrating on my music first and foremost. You know, that's the first and foremost expression of my art. You know, I'm continuing to write music. I'm recording some of the songs. I've got to record some of the songs that I've already written, you know, and get them out there. But what an awesome experience it was. Acting, you know, and learning about acting and appearing in a film. I definitely want to do more. I'm looking to take some formal acting classes, you know, and learn some fundamentals of the art and seriously study the art. I do want to do more films, Love to do more acting opportunities. I'd love to break into the acting community in Austin. I mean, that's a new and growing area for the film industry. I also like to do some shows and some performances at some of the clubs around Austin, you know, some of the hip hop clubs, some of the hookah lounges. And if I ever get that opportunity, I would love the opportunity to perform around Austin as well.
So you mentioned earlier how wrestling was sort of an inspiration behind the White Lavender Jones character. And you yourself have a tie to wrestling. You actually have quite a career in that field as well. Can you talk about your history in the wrestling world? Because I find that fascinating.
Been to Japan 18 times developing the brand, you know, broke my nose in Sendai, Japan in Valentine's Day 2015. So, you know, they say wrestling's not real. It's very real. You know, you cannot fake gravity when you pick somebody up and you throw them down. I mean, it's not fake. You know, the results may be predetermined, but wrestling is definitely not fake. So yes, I bring a lot of that to the character of White Lavender Jones. We've got references, you know, to wrestling and things like that, which is different. I mean, I don't think there's any other rapper out there that has connections to pro wrestling. But yeah, I was born in the wrestling profession. I wrestled myself in Mexico. I wore a mask for many years, you know, wrestling over there. Yeah, you know, wrestling is part of the character, you know, which just makes White Lavender Jones even that more unique. You know, White Lavender Jones, you know, is a rapper. You know, he's a wrestler. You know, he does magic, you know, he throws fire. You know, I don't think there's any other rappers out there that combine all of that into the character. Plus, my raps are very different. You know, the lyrics are all mine. You know, they're unique. You know, they're original, and they're from the heart. They're not the type of raps that you hear out there. You know, they're uniquely White Lavender Jones.
Here's another song and video from White Lavender Jones. This one is called I Am King.
Go. New York, London, Tokyo. First class travel from the top to the floor. Take a ride on that train, White Lavender Jones. I make the rules, cause I am the king. And if you don't like it, you will taste my ring. And if anyone tries me, they will pay the price. Cause I'll put them in the sleeper and I will not play nice. When I'm out with my bitches, you best not be grabbing her. Cause if you ain't lavender, you ain't having her. You gotta follow rules if you're gonna be my baby. You gotta give it up every fucking day. Everybody knows it's this I gotta say. Young hoes only, if you're a MILF, don't come my way. I am the king wherever I go. New York, London, Tokyo. First class travel from the top to the floor. Take a ride on that train, White Lavender Jones. The king makes the rules and you will learn to love it. When I say the word, you'll get down and suck it. Hit the switch all day, whenever I say where. If your hoe starts acting up, then you take her friend. Got a secretary, likes to take dictation. Tax so many girls can have my own United Nations. I'm the king of men and the ladies' dream. You'll end up dead if you try to compete. Unless you're in my tribe, you best head for the door. Cause I'll break your leg and my figure fall. And don't forget, I am not a liar. If you get me in trouble, you will feel the fire. And to all of the haters who just keep throwing stones, take a ride on the train with White Lavender Jones. ladies be burning up the phones. They all want a chance to talk to Lavender Jones. No competition here, you don't need to fight. Just remember this, you gotta suck it every night. And for all of you brothers, let me hear you holler. We get rid of the spitters and we keep the ones who swallow. And I'm speaking the truth, I ain't no bullshitter, cause there's no room on my groove for a hoe who's a spitter. Cause you gotta embrace it and love it like a hoe. Get down on that shit, white Lavender Jones.
As a day job, you're an attorney, but you do all these other things. And I think what that shows is that people are versatile. And I think a lot of times in life, we all get stuck in, well, this is what I went to school for. This is what I need to do. And we stay on this singular path instead of feeding our passions. Like for me, this show is a passion, right? I do it as a side thing to my regular job, but I love interviewing people. That's part of who I am. For you, how did you come into just having the confidence and, just to be able to do all these different things and not really care what people think?
You got to follow your heart and you got to follow your passion. Otherwise you're going to find yourself late in life thinking, what if? I listened to everybody else around me and I, did not pursue my passion because somebody else stole my dream. You cannot allow anyone to do that to you. Personally, I've always done different things. I've always been involved in wrestling. Even as an attorney, I was always getting continuances because I was headed to Japan. When I was working at the DA's office, I was wrestling under a mask in Mexico. So I'd come to court with a black eye or my arm in a sling or whatnot, and people would know that, well, on the weekends I was wrestling. That's just part of, who I am and, what's in my blood. I've always done magic. I performed magic, ever since I was a kid. So performing is in my blood. White Lavender Jones, it's very difficult to explain to me, how that evolved. It just sort of happened, and then I recorded my first song and I started performing my material for different people and they liked it. And for me, it's all about entertainment. I'm an entertainer. I want people to enjoy my work and my material. And if they smile or if they laugh at the punchlines, they think my songs are funny, that's great. Explain
to me what the fascination is with magic for you.
So I started doing magic when I was a kid, and birthday parties, and that helped develop my personality, television and whatnot. And I've been able to incorporate that into my performances. People like magic, and not a whole lot of rappers do magic or incorporate magic into their character. So why not use every facet of my personality? Wrestling, magic, rapping, throwing fire, which is unique, and things like that. And, back when I was in Atlanta, sort of developing my character, I was in the hip hop clubs back there, and I started doing magic for people. And by the end of the night, everybody was buying me drinks, and everybody was, having a great time. And, so that's why I decided to incorporate the magic into my character. The character of White Lavender Jones really cannot be duplicated because that character is me.
So in terms of being an attorney and having your rap, music as well, what has been the reaction, and have you gotten positive feedback, or what have you received from those in the attorney world?
Well, from the general world, I've probably gotten about, I'd say 95% positive, maybe 5%, haven't really gotten with the program or really understood what's going on, and with the legal profession, I would have to say probably about maybe, 80-20, percent negative, that don't really understand that I'm doing this for, an entertainment purposes, and that this is a character. And I certainly don't go into court dressed in a purple jacket with a chain like this and things like that. I mean, I do feel more comfortable wearing clothes like this, but I won't wear this into court. And I'm doing a different type of law right now that I don't necessarily go into court as frequently as I used to. But, this is a creative expression for me. It's a passion for me, putting the words on paper, and expressing myself, in rap rhyme form, and then putting it to beat. It's a creative expression for me. And people that I've performed for seem to have enjoyed it, seem to have liked it. The general public, as I've said, has been about 95%. They've laughed at the punchlines, and they've understood, that it's entertainment, and they've had a good time with it.
What would your advice be to anybody out there who has a passion for something, maybe not necessarily rapping, but they have a passion that they haven't yet fulfilled? What would you say to them?
I would say to follow their heart. It's very important to be true to yourself, and if they like to do something, to pursue that hobby, that passion, that art form, no matter what it may be. Lots of people try to discourage me in different ways, throughout my life. And I didn't allow that to happen. When I was an attorney, people would ask me, why are you involved in wrestling? Isn't wrestling kind of like a lowbrow type business? Well, it just so happened that wrestling took me to Japan 18 times, and I had some great experiences in Japan performing in front of thousands of people, once at the Tokyo Dome in front of almost 50,000 people. Never would I've had that experience in my life without wrestling. Traveled in Japan in all types of weather, from snowstorms to, blizzards to typhoons, and, never experienced an earthquake, thank God, but had wonderful experiences in Japan, made a lot of money also at wrestling. When people told me, oh, don't, get involved in that. Well, I did. I didn't listen to people. And, it just so happens that I discovered this rapping passion and developed this character. Well, I think that there's a place for this character, White Lavender Jones, because I'm different, I'm unique, and I'm also genuine, legitimate artist that writes my own lyrics and finds the beats, puts them together, goes into the studio, puts in the time, and is hoping that, we'll find a market for it and that certain people will like my art.
You can follow White Lavender Jones on social media. He's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And now White Lavender Jones is going to take us out of the show with his newest song, Peace and Love. We'll see you next time on The Marino Show.
The people call me genius because of my rhymes. Can write multiple tunes at the very same time. All the players in the business saying, who the funk is that? Appeared overnight with all original raps. My name's White Lavender Jones, and I ain't no pretender. With all due respect, I'm here to be a contender. So throw out your licks and I'll throw out mine. We don't need to compete to have a real good time. So let's twist up a fatty and spit out a few licks. I can call up some hoes who can show us some tricks. Had a problem back east, and I cannot say where, 'cause Big Daddy Lav got in some shit down there. Crazy dude challenged me while I was in the trap. Had to pull my piece and bust off a cap. Got to be real careful where I show my face. For all I know, could be an open case. But just a shout out to my boys in the hood. If I ever hit the big house, my paper's all good. Right now it's all cool and life is really great. Don't want to end up on first 48, but I'll tell you this, brothers, it's you who pay the price if you lose your temper and decide to take a life. The truth of the matter, and you know I am right, takes a really tough man to walk away from a fight. So I'm sharing my story, not because I'm great. I just don't want you to make the same mistake. Ain't no nothing good come from carrying a piece, and I got rid of mine after that sad day back east. If I could turn things around, I'd have never raised my hand, never forget the day that I killed a man. If I just had a clock that I could turn back to an earlier time before I heard that gun crack. This here is the truth, and these are just the facts. When something happens like that, you can never take it back. When things start to get heavy and emotions start to fly, you need to become that cool and peaceful guy. Just never forget what all you have to lose. Walk away if you have to, and try to diffuse. Take a sec to reflect on everything you had. And I thank you for listening to Big Daddy Laugh. Please think about the words and the lyrics I've been saying. Even though you think I'm funny, White Lavender ain't playing. This rap's called Peace and Love, and that's the reason why. 'Cause Big Daddy Laugh don't wanna see no one die.